Today I'm an hour and a half south of Nashville, Tennessee in a little town called Lawrenceburg, Tennessee to check out a piece of American history from World War I. Hey everyone, welcome to One Way's Pickins. I'm in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee with Curtis Peters. Curtis Peters, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Proud to do it.
Thanks for having us here. So tell me a little bit about yourself. You're the head of the Lawrenceburg Historical Society?
Lawrence County Historical Society. I ended up doing that by default. Since I taught school for 40 years and taught history, then when I retired, the people in charge, I ended up getting the job. And it's one of those that you know, you don't volunteer for, but people pick you, I guess. So.
Gotcha. Very cool. Very cool. Is this something that I guess you enjoy history? Why do you enjoy doing the history part?
Oh, I love discovering things and finding out things, and I've always liked history. So.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we come today to bring you a piece of history that we've never had before, that we've never seen. It actually was recently found. When did you find this piece?
About a month and a half ago at a estate auction here in town. And this thing has probably been locked up in a trunk since the 1940s or something like that.
So the piece we're talking about is this beautiful quilt right here. And could you just tell us a little bit when it was made and where you found it and how you found it?
Well, we were at the auction and I had several people come up and says, boy, you need to go check this quilt out. So we go over and start looking at it. And the first thing I noticed was one of the names. And since I had taught school at Summertown for 40 years, the name down here, Lieutenant L.O. Crane. And he is got a monument in Summertown to him. He was a World War I veteran. He actually, for Lawrence County, was the guy that signed everybody up for the draft. And his first name is Leo Line. And he got upset because he was signing all the young boys up for the draft. And so he decided he needed to join. So he joined the Army, and all of the men in his company called him Pop. And anyhow, when he joined and filled out his application, he had to have a middle initial. He didn't have one, so he put a 0. And so that's where he became known as L.O. Crane. And so then in World War I, he got killed right at the very end of the war. And our VFW here was named after him. So it's a crane, you know, for Crane. And so I saw him on there, and then I recognized other names from the area where I taught, Penningtons and Pattersons and West. And so started looking at it. And another thing we noticed on this quilt is the 4 center squares right here have a gold star. And all of the guys that are in here were soldiers that got killed in World War I. And so the gold star was what represented them being killed. And so a mother would be a gold star mother if she had one of her sons or daughters killed.
So the gold stars, correct me if I'm wrong, the gold stars, these people have been killed in battle.
They were killed in battle in World War I. And so there are 4 blocks there in the center. The other blocks just have a regular star, and all of those guys survived the war. One of the oddities on this quilt we noticed when we started looking at it is Quentin Roosevelt. Now, Quentin Roosevelt was Theodore Roosevelt's son, and he was in he flew airplanes in World War I, got shot down, and died in war. So we're guessing that they didn't have enough local names to fill in the blocks, so they probably picked somebody famous and put them there.
So Theodore Roosevelt, the president,
he had been president of the United
States, that was his son that served in World War I, and you said he was flying a plane.
Flying a plane, yeah.
Very cool, very cool. So when do you think this was made?
We started looking at it. Of course, out of there are 80 names on there, and we have found 29 of them on our World War I list, and we don't have a complete list of all of them, so we know there's plenty more. And then the flags, all the flags have 48 stars in the corner. And so this, of course, it could be anywhere from 1912 to 1959, but we're figuring that this thing was probably done about 1919, right after World War I. And so the ladies, and these, you know, you'll find these all over the country. The ladies would get together in the community after the war was over, and they would honor all of the boys that had gone off to fight, and they would make a quilt and sew their names on it. So that's what happened here, probably in the north end of the county. And some of these could be from some of the surrounding counties that border us there.
Very cool. And you said that there's some names on here that you said that you taught some of their grandkids,
well, names, and you recognize names of kids that you've taught in school. And if we really started going back and researching all of them, we're going to find a lot of them like that.
That's cool.
You know, and we got Brocks, and we got Freemans, and we've got lots of Pattersons and Penningtons. Probably some of these guys are actually brothers, you know, that went off to war.
Well, thank you very much for showing us your piece. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anything else you'd like to tell our viewers before we're done?
Happy hunting. There's lots of history out there in closets and at auctions and estate sales, and if you have a little bit of knowledge, you can find a great treasure.
Very cool. And what significance do you feel that it is to preserve history and pieces like this for other generations?
Well, if it gets lost, you lose out on a lot of stuff. Like this tells lots of stories. It's just not telling one story. It's lots of stories about all these guys on here.
Right.
And it's something, of course, we had not seen, but as soon as you see it, you know, hey, that's a very valuable item for a museum to pick up. So
very cool.
So we actually had to bid quite a bit. We had to pay $1,050 at the auction to get this. So there were a lot of people interested in it.
It's worth $1,050. It's priceless because it can never be created.
Right, it's one of a kind. So.
One of a kind. Very cool. Well, thank you very much again. We appreciate it. And how can more people learn about your jail here and more about the quilt and anything else that you guys share in your museum here?
They can stop in and visit us if you're in Lawrence County, or you can email me at clpeters@charter.net, and I'll try to get back with you and answer any questions you might have.
You guys have a Facebook page as well, right?
We do have a Facebook page.
Awesome. They have a Facebook page. I'll throw that in the comment section below, so just check that out when you get a chance and give them some feedback and stop by and see them. This is an awesome place, one of my favorite places in town to see a lot of local history here, and a very knowledgeable person. How long have you been in Lawrenceburg?
I've been in Lawrence County 66 years.
66 years, and he's got so many stories I couldn't even film them all. So stop by and talk to him when you get a chance, and we appreciate it again, you coming out and telling us about your stuff. And thank you guys for joining. If you like our videos, subscribe below, let us know how we did. And until then, let history be your happiness, and we'll see you on the next episode.